Hello and welcome to this section on setting up a Microbit Classroom. In this part of the video, I'm going to take us through how to set up a Microbit Classroom. So very simple. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to search for Microbit Classroom in Google, and you'll see here that the option I'm looking for is classroom.microbit.org. Okay, so classroom.microbit.org is the web address for it. When I click on this, this is what I'll do for a teacher to engage with setting up a classroom activity. You can see here that they've got some previous activities. You can view more and click on that. Lower down on the screen, you'll see that they've got other activities and other lessons and projects that they've created themselves. But for us, what we're looking for is the middle section here on the left-hand side of the screen where we want to set up a classroom. So in this part here, it says we need to name the activity. So depending on this lesson, you can call it whatever you want. So if we're talking about servo motors, if we're talking about DC motors, you could call that for the students. But for me and for today, I'm just going to call it Introduction. The next part of setting up a classroom is to choose the programming language you yourself are going to choose. And when we look at the programming language, we have two options. MakeCode, which is the coding blocks, which has been used on all the CPD sessions by JCT4 so far. The other option then is to use Python, which is coding language, which involves typing out text and setting up programs using Java language and so on. So what we are going to use is we're going to click on Make Code, and the reason being, as I said, we've used that on all our JCT4 CPD sessions, and also due to the fact that students will be engaging in Scratch in primary school, they might have some prior knowledge of drag and drop blocks. So that is as simple as it needs to be, and all I'm going to do is click on Launch Classroom. And once I click on Launch Classroom, I'm greeted by this home screen. And in the home screen here, you'll see a couple of different options have been set out for me here. Number one, the first option, which is editor here, says to go to the editor page, set up a code that I want to share with the students in the class, and then click the share code with students to make it available. So by that, I could create a code, set a challenge for the students. Here is the code partially finished. What I'd like you to do is complete it, okay, and finish off whatever you want, or have a command for them on how to do it. The second option for us here is to share the join details. So quite important for them is to click on this button, and it also shows here, show me the dashboard page, which is up here on top of the screen. So it says how to join it for the students. The next bit here is part 3, which allows you to view the students' work live. So you can check in on students when they're engaging with the work and see how they're getting on. And then the last bit here, part 4, is Save Classroom. And when you click on Save Classroom, it brings down all the code and stores it on your laptop as an internet file. Now, one thing that's keen to say though is that once you click Save Classroom, if a student completes some work afterwards, it won't be available for them the next time they join this class. The reason being is because it saves it from the point of clicking the button. So as I said, if someone completes extra work, it won't work. So just going to click on these buttons up here at the top just to show you what they look like, and I'll go through them in a later part of this video to explain what they are in more detail. But editor, this is the editor button here, and this is what we've seen before and what we've engaged with before on CPD, and that is all the coding blocks needed. You'll also see as well on the top right hand side here, it says share code with the students, so you just click that and share it with the students. Finished. The dashboard has all the joining details for a student to join the classroom. So as you can see here, then students would click onto this URL or go to this URL, then enter in the name, which is a randomly generated one by Microbit, and then also they need this PIN number here in order to join the classroom, which once again I'll take you through in another part of this video. The third option here then is student code, and as you can see, unfortunately there's no students in this activity yet. But once they're in here, I can click on this and see what the student is creating or how they're getting on. And the last option then is this Save Classroom. And when I click on Save Classroom, it creates a file for me to use going forward. And I'll show you what that looks like once again in a later part of the video. Okay, so that's it for this section on how to create a Microbit Classroom. As you can see, it's very quick and easy. And the next part of the video is going to take us through using the editor and sending a code to the students.